A verdict has been reached in a horrible case of police brutality. 3 former Memphis police officers found guilty of obstruction of justice in connection with the beating death of 29-year-old Tyre Nichols. But all 3 were found not guilty of the most serious charges against them. They were all convicted of something that'll put them behind bars, potentially, for a long time. But my question is this. In a world where anti-police rhetoric is so widespread, where police officers on trial tend to lead to major protests that can shut down a city, why is this verdict, which is going to be disappointing to many, why isn't this one leading to more outrage? Is it because all the cops involved were also black? Now, I know that is a very tough question to ask, but that's what we do here. Is there less media interest because of that? Less outrage? It sure seems that way. Closing arguments, the prosecution stated that the officers laughed and bragged about beating Nichols, while the attorneys for the former officers argued the force wasn't excessive, didn't violate Memphis policies. 2 of the 5 officers charged actually testified against their former partners. On the video, you see them yanking Tyre from his car during a traffic stop in January of 2023 and beating him in 2 different locations. And then, again, after he ran away and was chased down, one of the officers involved even testified that he posed no threat.
You might get sprayed again. Hey, hey, Mike, hey, bro. Watch out, watch out. Watch out. Mom!
It's hard to watch. You see officers holding him while others wind up and slug him. He died from brain injuries caused by blunt force trauma 3 days later. Now, as most of you know, I often defend police officers when they're criticized unjustly, or sometimes even when they're charged for decisions they're forced to make in a split second, what they may feel is a life or death moment. I'm the first one to call out the media for jumping to conclusions and not waiting for the facts to come out before they immediately throw the police officers under the bus. None of this seems to apply to this case. There weren't really any split-second decisions here. It's tough to argue the video's taken out of context. It just seems to be a horrible case of police brutality. The question is primarily who was responsible for what. So where's the media been? Where are the activists? Where are the protests? Do they not really care that much because the officers were also black? Remember the attention the former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin's case got? He was on trial for the death of George Floyd. Chants like this.
Pigs in a blanket, fry like bacon. Pigs in a blanket, fry like bacon. Pigs in a blanket, fry like bacon.
Other much closer cases than this one seem to create much more outrage. The recent case of U.S. Senior Airman Roger Fortson, recently shot inside his Florida home by an officer responding to a call of a dispute. Fortson was holding a gun when he opened his door to the officer. The officer's been charged with manslaughter, currently awaiting arraignment. Even the case of Breonna Taylor, who was shot by police officers as they were trying to serve a warrant. Her sleeping boyfriend mistakenly shot at them, and they fired back. One officer found guilty of falsifying a warrant. 2 officers had felony charges dismissed, and this week, more charges were filed by federal prosecutors against the officers, with further allegations about falsification of the affidavits. Regardless of what you think of the outcome of any of those cases, all involved white officers and black victims, and all led to major protests and massive media coverage. So it sure seems the media and some activists are a lot less interested in this case. Wouldn't there be protests in the streets around the country right now if the cops were white and the verdicts that just came down as they did? Most serious charges, not guilty? Look, we're going to continue to ask the tough questions here. I don't have the answers. Can't be afraid to ask them. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.